So this is going to be a continuation video from the last video I just made in reference to dreams and vivid dreaming. And in that last video I had made a comment about there's something that I wanted to end the video on, but I just couldn't really remember. And in my infinite stupidity, I just remembered it, so here goes. Vivid dreaming has really helped me come to a better understanding of the true nature of reality, whether it's through the internal or the external of my own existence, our own existence, what it means to be a conscious, living, breathing organism on this planet, and how all living things are on separate wavelengths and frequencies in regards to consciousness. I mean, how 500 years ago we were on a different plane and realm of consciousness, and I think things like Skype and Snapchat and FaceTime and all that shit 500 years ago would have seemed like fucking witchcraft. But let's say that 500 years ago humans were completely immensely ignorant and didn't know shit about the real world, because there was some bright people besides, people that would burn you at the stake if you said that the earth was at the center of the solar system and not the sun. But that's another story for another day. So vivid dreaming has really helped me come to a better understanding of both the physical realm of consciousness and how it's come into existence, and also I know how much atheists love the word spiritual, but it's allowed me to be a far more spiritual person as opposed to a religious, but what if my God and my flying spaghetti monsters are real, so I have to abide by these laws and these 10 commandments and all that. Because in my early 20s, I was a bit of, well, not a bit, in my early 20s, 20, 21, 22 years old, I was a believer in religious dogma, and I did believe there was a Christian God. And in my mid-20s, or 25 years old, 24 years old, I was drifting more and more far from it. Maybe like 70%, it's probably all bullshit, and like a 30% of, but you never know, Keymo, so you have to keep on believing, because without beliefs and without faith, we're nothing but a bunch of hairless monkeys and fucking da. But vivid dreaming, I want to call it the art of vivid dreaming, but vivid dreaming has helped me just come to a better understanding of the human brain, the conscious, the subconscious, the internal and external world, the internal world that lives within us, and the external world that lives outside our eyeballs, and ultimately the 3-pound universe within our skull, our brain, is the filtration of just millions and millions and millions of photons shooting into your iris, retina, your eyeball, and kind of being downloaded into the recesses of our brains. I mean, we're all an extension of the universe. We're all walking, talking, breathing periodic tables. And you take each element and you clump them all together, and after millions and billions and trillions of years, you get this physical body that we're in right now, on this timeline, on this arrow of time. And we're stuck in this physical frame. Now, evolving from the present into the future, anything, I want to say almost anything, but anything is possible through train of thought and training your own mind, your brain, to work on something or to believe in something that has yet come into full manifestation, and through enough thought, meditation, concentration, and while living within the realms of physical reality, our futures can be shaped and molded into realities that we never thought possible. So, because there's just been vivid dreams that I've had in the past where I cannot tell the difference. My five senses are 100% when in the state of a vivid dream. They are as they are now, and this waking reality and this waking life that we're in right now. The difference between my perceptions and five senses right now, in the past when having vivid dreams, and I'm not saying I have vivid dreams every single night when I go to bed, but when I do have these vivid dreams, the five senses, if I had to weigh which one feels more real, they're identical. That there is no difference when caught in a vivid dream state and the waking life that I'm in right now, that we're all in right now, sharing thoughts, sharing consciousness, bouncing ideas off of one another. I don't believe that. I believe that. That sounds reasonable. That sounds like fucking stupidity. This and that. We're always judging, not in the sense of judging people and belittling them and thinking we're better than everybody, but we're always constantly judging. We're always constantly telling, our subconscious is kind of guiding us and telling us, you should probably make a left here. You should probably make a right here. You should probably just stay on the path, play it safe. You should probably make a left. You should probably make a right. You should probably say yes. You should probably say no, maybe, no, yes, no, yes. Brain's ultimately just making hundreds and thousands of decisions a fucking second that some we are aware of and some that we're totally unaware of. I mean, if I were to tell you to count how many times you blinked in the past 4 minutes, you wouldn't be able to tell me. You just, it's more, I mean, I know it's an instinct, it's not a choice, but, so vivid dreaming has really helped me in that sense of severing myself 100% from religious dogma and not seeing it as something that actually happened here on planet Earth, whether it was, a virgin getting impregnated by God because he time traveled into the past because humanity was getting too out of control, or Noah's Ark, or Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and all that. We're all here because of an apple, and all that. Sure, there can be some philosophical lessons to be learned from that, and it can make you a better person, make you a better, far more caring, loving person, and not always so selfish and me. And that's a good thing. But for it to be preached as actuality, as facts, as things that really happened, and if you don't abide by these rules and these 10 commandments, you're going to burn in hell with the devil. Alright? Burn in hell with the devil. Or you can be up there in heaven and past the pearly gates, and you'll be fucking meeting your dead great grandma and all that. It's like, just stop. Just please stop. Just, you've gone off the deep end. And vivid dreaming has helped me just come to a far more better understanding of how to separate those two worlds when it comes to religious dogma and being far more spiritual, and how they're two completely different things. And it's a shame that religion has implanted it in millions and millions and millions and billions of people's heads that you need religion in order to be a good person. That it's almost like morality was hijacked by religion, and that's fucking sad, really. Some of the most heinous, brutal acts of violence and wars throughout human history have been because of religion. But anyway, thought I just ended at that, and everyone's spiritual journey in trying to come into a better understanding of who they are on this planet, on the short span of time that we are here, everyone's journey is going to be different. And that's obviously, I mean, it should be obvious. That's fine. That's okay. But know how to separate the difference between what you want to be true because you simply want it to be true, and the difference between things out in the universe, out in the world, in the waking life that are true, regardless of whether you believe in them or not. And there's just a big difference between those two trains of thought, those frames of consciousness. They're black and white. They're not two totally different things. It's just the art of vivid dreaming has really helped me to separate myself again from just being brainwashed by religious dogma, and the fact that when I'm in a certain dream state, there is no difference. My 5 senses are identical to how they are now and how they are when I'm asleep. And the fact that my brain cannot tell the difference between the two, it makes me come to the realization that there's something far more complicated within our minds and our 5 senses and how we perceive reality than we think we don't know. And that journey is still going on right now. And if you're still watching this, thank you for listening, and may your own personal journey, may you find peace or a sense of solace within your soul, not your soul that's gonna be judged when you die and all that stupid fucking bullshit. Your soul as almost like as a seed, and eventually it fights its way through the dirt, and then it sprouts, and then it grows, and it flowers, and it bears fruit. I think that's what our consciousness is striving for. I think within the conscious brain of any warm-blooded animal, perhaps even cold-blooded animals as well, not like we've all made it this far. We've all have survived extinction, at least up until now, because of the same reason, and feeling a need and an obligation to come to a better understanding of what we are and come to our own conclusion as to why we're here. Because everyone's why is always going to have a different answer. And it's coming to those realizations of that we'll never come to 100% agreement in our beliefs and in our cultures, but it's still having enough sense within your self, within your mind, within your soul, within your brain, that just because someone looks different than you, has a different amount of melanin in their skin, doesn't mean we automatically just have to shoot them down or stab them in the fucking heart or chop their head off with a fucking axe. Or it's just knowing how to live amongst one another in the closest thing to peace, if we can. I don't know if the war gene will forever fuck us, and as of now, sometimes it feels like we are fucking doomed, and there's just no sense, there's no hope, it's all gonna fucking end anyway. But I think the brainwaves and the realms and the wavelengths of consciousness, if we can come to a better understanding of how we got here, then only then can we come to a better understanding of why the fuck we're here in the first place. So, that's about all. Peace out.